Coffee and Headlines is brought to you by the generous support of our viewers and the following community partners: Best Cord Cutting TV, Bravo's Restaurant Bar, El Rey Lounge de Versalles, Joint Boutique Hotel and Cowork, Puerto Vallarta Neurofeedback, Puerto Vallarta Owners Reps, Oculto, and Siam Cocina Thai. Thank you for your support, and thank you for supporting our community partners. Hello, everyone. I'm playing games with a microphone today. Good morning. Good morning. We're back from a quick and dirty trip. Well, it was not dirty, but it was a quick trip that I'm ready to tell you about, but not yet. We will first do our usual routine. Welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. This is our morning get-together live here on Facebook. We were not live on Sunday. No, we're never live on Sunday. We were live. We were not live yesterday and the day before. I was away, but I am back. I hope you enjoyed our vintage walking tours. They seemed appropriate for this time of year. And it's nice to be back home. It's always nice to get away for a couple of days, but it's definitely nice to be back home. And there is so much to report. It's not even funny. I will talk about the personal stuff in a second, but we will start with our news. I am not including news about tariffs in our broadcast, although there are ramifications for our country and there are ramifications for Canada as well. And it's bringing out the worst in all three governments. It really is. I don't know if we're going to talk much about that in the future, because it does not affect our quality of life directly. But if next year prices start changing because of Donald Trump's decisions, then because it will affect our country, we need to talk about that as well. But I don't want to get ahead of the game. Let's start with the news that we can worry or celebrate today. And that includes a black screen. Hello, black screen. Go away. After 15 years of absence, Mayor Luis Munguia has mandated the return of the tourism police to Puerto Vallarta starting on December 5th. The goal with this initiative is to send a clear message that Puerto Vallarta is a safe destination. This particular subdivision of the local police force, I don't know if you remember them, they used to wear like those round hats, kind of like African explorers. The goal, this particular subdivision of the police force will operate in Emiliano Zapata, Mismaloya, Boca de Tomatlan, and Marina Vallarta, among other areas of the city where tourism prevails. I also want to let you know that local authorities are finally addressing that little short but very important stretch of unpaved road along Maria Montessory St in Palmar de Aramara. After years of neglect and broken promises, the city is finally paving that little stretch with hydraulic concrete. I understand that the work has begun and hopefully it'll get done sooner rather than later. Seapal has announced a temporary suspension of water service in 8 colonias in the city. So if you happen to live in Agua Azul, Bugambilias, Herradura, Jardines, Ignacio Vallarta, La Pedrera, López Mateos, or Mariano Otero, take your shower now, or maybe wait until the evening. No water in these colonias today. And of course, whale watching season is on in Puerto Vallarta, and experts have announced that in addition to the usual sighting of humpback whales, we can expect to spot orcas or killer whales as well during this upcoming whale watching season. That should be very exciting for those of us that have never had the opportunity to see these enormous mammals up close. If you haven't, it is definitely one of those activities that you want to pursue while in Puerto Vallarta. And let us take a quick look at our weather forecast. No, that's not the weather forecast. Hold on just a second. There it is. Are you not entertained by my erratic weather patterns? Says Snarky Weatherman. I am loving the weather. I don't know what you're talking about. It is 26 degrees right now. Humidity is at 73%. And our weather forecast for today indicates that we're going to have a humid day with clear skies, a high of 28 and a low of 19. Then tomorrow, Thursday, will be a humid day with mostly clear skies throughout the day, a high of 28 and a low of 18. And then Friday, humid with clear skies throughout the day, again with a high of 28 and a low of 17. Now, where did I go? What happened that all of a sudden I disappeared? I didn't even announce it. Well, it was one of those things that just sort of came into place with three very close, wonderful friends. But the fun started even before we left, and I am going to have tons of show and tell. Well, at least three instances of amazing show and tell before the end of next week. I'm going to try to get this all in and prepared and produced sometime within the next 2 or 3 days. For me, the excitement began on Saturday. Right after the broadcast, we went to the Pollinators Festival at Jardín Mágico, the butterfly sanctuary, which I had never visited before. And let me tell you, it was absolutely heavenly. I can't believe I waited this long to visit, and I'm dying to tell you why it is one of those not to be missed activities in Puerto Vallarta. Again, do expect a more detailed show and tell about what we did there and why you should consider a visit sometime in the near future. Then, of course, on Sunday morning, we hopped on a friend's car, Lars's car, and four of us drove not to Guadalajara. We went to Tequila on a Sunday because I've never been. Some of us had never been, and it is another Pueblo Mágico, and we deliberately wanted to see it on a Sunday because we know that it gets more festive during the weekend. So we wanted to experience that. We spent the night in Tequila and left for Guadalajara yesterday morning. So we had the opportunity to experience both the festive town of Tequila and then the mellow, laid back pace of the town on a weekday morning. I must say that I had a lot of fun because it's chilly. So we were wearing shawls because I make shawls for my friends. We were wearing blankies wherever we went, and it was so much fun to check out the shawl fashion in places where it's usually colder than here in Puerto Vallarta. Oh, and of course, while we were in Tequila, we did a little shopping, not much, but I have breakfast for champions in this bag. If you want a breakfast with high protein content, low fat, all you have to do is to find yourself this healthy snack, roasted grasshoppers. Very popular in the state of Michoacan. We found a booth right in the heart of Tequila. Who wants a roasted? No, that's a peanut. Who wants a roasted grasshopper? Let me find one. There you go. So I'm holding in my hand. You cannot really see it, I don't think, but this is a yummy. No, Luna, it's human food. It's not cat food. Mmm, yummy. Roasted grasshoppers. Breakfast of champions. Smoking. Okay, let me finish swallowing this. My goodness. You don't need to hear me swallow. Or chew. Anyhow, then Monday morning, we drove to Guadalajara because we figured IKEA just opened a week ago. It's going to be totally packed. When is it least likely to be packed? On a weekday when everybody's working. So this happened. Okay, I'm done chewing grasshopper. No, I'm not. It's still there. Okay, I'm done. Anyhow, we found a hotel because the goal of the trip, no symphony, no opera, We just needed to get this out of the system. We wanted to go to IKEA. And we went to IKEA. And this photo is taken in front of the hotel where we stayed. We found a very convenient Luna. The grasshoppers are not for you. Go away. Go, 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 go. They're for me. We found this convenient and very affordable hotel right across the street from IKEA. And we went shopping and it was wonderful. And of course, yesterday afternoon, we drove back and it's nice to be home. It's nice to be back. So I owe you a show and tell of the Butterfly Sanctuary. I owe you a show and tell of the town of Tequila and why you should visit. A show and tell of IKEA, which is located on the second story of City. What is the name of the? Well, La Comer has these high-end supermarkets, City Market. So City Market's on the street level where IKEA is. IKEA is upstairs. And imagine going to La Comer, but 10 notches more sophisticated and beautiful and quality, and you know it. We'll include that in the IKEA show and tell. I don't understand. I'm not calling you. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Now, what else do we have to report before we get into the chat section? Travel and Leisure magazine has just named Costa Alegre as one of the best travel destinations to explore in 2025. And of course, Costa Alegre is a region of the Mexican Pacific that extends across the municipalities of Cihuatlán, La Huerta, Tomatlán, and Cabo Corrientes in southern Jalisco. It is characterized by its beaches with calm waters, cliffs, coves, mangroves, and tropical forests. And you can do all kinds of things from boat trips to fishing yachts and snorkeling and diving and water sports. And the best thing of all is that Costa Alegre is less than 5 hours away south of Puerto Vallarta. Lots of things to explore there, from high-end resorts to quaint little towns. It's a great region of our state. And as long as we're talking about exploration, Mexicana has begun offering direct flights between Puerto Vallarta and Guadalajara, increasing options to visit and enjoy our capital city. The flight operates twice a week on Fridays and Sundays at a price of 651 pesos plus taxes, which results in a one-way fare of 1,100 pesos, just slightly more expensive than the first class bus. Which brings back the whole debate of, if you're going to Guadalajara, do you drive, do you take the bus, or do you fly? And it really boils down to what you're carrying with you and what you're hoping to do in Guadalajara. A lot of these regional flights will limit the amount of luggage that you can carry, and that can be an issue. So if you're going to go shopping, you don't want to fly, because all the chingaderas that you shop for, you won't be able to check in on the plane. On the other hand, if you want to be shopping, you want to drive or you want to take the bus, which takes, nowadays it takes like between 3.5 and 4 hours to get to Guadalajara, depending on traffic, time of day, day of the week. But of course, if you're traveling by bus or if you're driving your own vehicle, you can bring with you as much stuff as you want to bring. Before we get into our chat section, 3 more announcements. Of course, a week from tomorrow, a Mexican December, my presentation where we will unpack Mexico's holiday season traditions, the December stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun, very cultural for those of you that are not familiar with everything we do, starting with the Posadas, which begin on December 1st, and ending with El Día de la Candelaria in early February. And I also want to let you know that there's still a few shows left for Beware the House on Haunted Hill. It's our local community theater company, Teatro Sin Borders. It would be a good thing if we support them. And something, speaking of support, something that I forgot to include in the news today, if you're familiar with La Mara, the wonderful ceviche restaurant in Colonia Versalles, the bakery next door, I think it's called Alu Alu, it caught fire, causing severe damage to the business. And I read somewhere on Facebook, and I will include this in the show notes, that if you eat at La Mara today. La Mara is donating 100% of their proceeds for today to the business next door, which seems to me like a very noble act. So if you're craving some ceviche, go to La Mara today. It should be a yummy thing to do. We love that restaurant. It's a wonderful place and probably the best place in town to enjoy the largest variety of ceviches and aguachiles I've seen in our city. And last but not least, of course, today is Wednesday, which means we have the spotlight. I'm really excited because today's spotlight is Lucha Libre. And we're going to talk with the one of the co-owners of Vagabundas Versalles, Karina Brougham, is going to join me. So Karina and Jorge are going to give us a very interesting afternoon in today's The Spotlight. As long as we're talking about The Spotlight, a quick reminder, we are not accepting any more interviews yet because we have all the interview spots filled out until the end of December. We will resume registration for January and February this coming week on the first week of December. So kindly be patient if you wish to come on the spotlight and tell us about all the wonderful things that you are doing here in town for us to enjoy. A ver, vamos a ver. Let's see what we have. Lots of good mornings. Thank you very much. It's nice to get away, but it's always nice to come back. And I always bring you with me. I took so many photographs that you're going to get to see sometime soon. Envious in the best possible way. Dan and Kathy are having lunch at Ascale, my favorite place for Marlin tacos. Lovely. Pum, 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 pum. Many good mornings, Eric. It's so nice to read you, my friend. I'm glad that you are connected with us. Good. Michael confirms that the street, Maria Montessori, is finally getting paved. I am so happy for you, Michael, and for anyone that relies on traveling through that stretch of Maria Montessori on a regular basis. Let's see what else we have. Albert says the grasshoppers in Guadalajara were fantastic. Luisa took me. There you go. Daniel, it's what we do. And it's not for everyone, but yummy. I like my grasshoppers. It's not like I wake up on any given day and say, I'm really going to crave grasshoppers. But grasshopper quesadillas or grasshoppers in your quesadillas, they are yummy. And Mijal is correct. Those grasshopper legs can get caught in your teeth. Before you know it, comes with a territory. Christopher says, did you bring back meatballs and tchotchkes? Well, let me tell you, I didn't. And we enjoyed them. Of course, we enjoyed them at IKEA. We had lovely meatballs with red wine. But my friends brought a cooler. And so we went to IKEA twice. We went to IKEA on Monday. And then yesterday, just as we were leaving town, with all bags packed in the car and all that stuff, we went back to IKEA right at 11 o'clock in the morning when they opened. And my friends went on a frozen meatball shopping binge while I scored a couple of chocolate bars. But yes, it was a lot of fun. Did I bring a lot of tchotchkes? No, I didn't bring a lot of tchotchkes because I really don't need that many things here at Casa Chaos. But still, I picked up a couple of sweet nothings for myself, and I brought back gifts for my friends and for my house cleaning coordinator, aka my maid. Let's see. Sure, working hard on that chapeli. Well, you see, they break down into little pieces, and when you try to swallow all those little pieces, they stick everywhere. I just don't recommend doing a web broadcast and eating grasshoppers at the same time. I just figured I would do it today just to amuse you. Um, Buenos dias. It is certainly refreshing to see our presidenta take a different stance than Lopez Obrador and stand up to bullies on the world stage. I am certainly rooting for her. I am definitely rooting for our presidenta. But again, I don't want to get ahead of myself with this whole tariff business. Um, I'm going to wait to see what happens. And this, my friends, speaking of waiting and seeing what happens, this ends this broadcast. I'm happy to be back. I was happy to go away, but I'm happy to report what I found out. I will be working on my show and tells furiously after I come back from the spotlight this afternoon. In the meantime, thank you as always for supporting what we do. Thank you as always for subscribing and liking and forwarding and using your thumbs to promote Coffee and Headlines. I'll see you this afternoon. If you are in the vicinity of the Joint Boutique Hotel and Cowork, feel free to stop by. I won't bring grasshoppers, or maybe I will if you want to try them with me. Have a great day, and I'll see you either this afternoon or tomorrow morning.